Galimera, Galispera, Galinichta, no matter where in this wild and wonderful and sometimes wacky world you might be in. Thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Oh my God, it's been a crazy week. I'm not going to lie. I'm totally exhausted, but I couldn't think of a better way to end the Highbury Squad week's show with my new favorite, Casey. Let's rock and roll. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. It has been a few days. There's been a lot happening in between, which I will let you know about. And I'm not wearing my sunglasses because I'm an LA wanker. No, I just have a terrible headache. And as Kyle knows, yesterday, I wasn't feeling tip-top, so I had to push the show to today. But here he is, my Casey 2.0, my new favorite Campbell, Kyle. Gosh.
Happy to be here again.
I love it. It's perfect. Although, are you running on your dad's internet connection? That's what I want to know. Are you? Don't move too much. Stay still.
Not, but
as a football player, I bet it's almost impossible to stay still.
Yeah, he's always moving around.
What is that shirt you're spotting today? Woo! Looks fire.
It is where is it? Northern Ireland.
Nice.
UEFA Euro 2020 playoff final against Slovakia.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you end up with that shirt?
Well, I'll say it was the Northern Ireland manager who actually gave it me.
Ooh.
He gave me the shirt.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Carry on. Like,
yeah,
why?
so
How?
Gave it me.
You know me. I'm not going to let you get away with just that. He gave you that. How? Why?
Well, basically, because he was at Stoke, the Northern Ireland manager. Obviously, he came round to talk to Ty about something, and when he came round, he brought around the top. He just gave it to me. I didn't even ask for it as well. He just said, "I've got you this as a present."
Wow.
Oh, cheers. So
that is so cool.
I was like,
very, very cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Kyle, we forgot to do this. Damn it. Every time he's not here, my manners just goes out the window, to be honest. Does yours? Does your manners and ties goes out the window when you know who's not around?
Sometimes.
At ease, everyone, at ease. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, I actually have. It's been hard, but
why hard? What's been hard about it? Talk to me.
Just training's been hard, and yes, and like the weather in UK, well, especially in Manchester, it's been on and off as well. So it just drains you, doesn't it? It drains your soul a bit.
Are you going to take a trip to Liverpool for the Eurovision Song Contest this weekend, Kyle? That's what I want to know.
I'm actually not. I actually heard people talking about it today as well, and I was looking around like, what? Like, what even is it?
Oh, let me tell you what it is. It's the Grammys. It's the Grammys with like everything else thrown in between, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. When you talk about all people from all walks of life, just go to a Eurovision Song Contest and you will see that. Yeah.
Have you been?
Some of the songs are dodgy. I have, yeah. I used to love it more when they sang in their own language. Now everyone sings in English. What's the point? Well, I mean, what's the point?
What's the point in that?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think too. Do you want to talk about football?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. I'm not going to go over results of last week. We're just going to, because it was our first, we're just going to let that one ride. You know, like golf, we're giving ourselves a mulligan. All right.
I agree.
Although young Campbell, how close was I? Leeds did give a tiny scare to the City, did they not? The citizens?
Yeah, I think they did for the last, I'll say, 5 minutes. I think if Gundogan scores a penalty, I think it's game over. Obviously, it's game over. But when he missed a penalty and then Leeds counter-attacked, scored, then City's tails went up. And it's like, oh, I was even worried when I was watching the game. I was like, if we dare concede here, I'm gonna be raging. And to be fair, we did well in the end. To be fair.
Can I just say that it is very alarming to me to hear a son of a Campbell say "we" when talking about Man City. I have not gotten used to that yet. And you know, forget having Tyrese on the show. I can't deal with the two of you, but it's really just bizarre.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is crazy. But you know what? You went there as a kid. I totally get it. Right. Let's
Yeah.
start talking about some football. You've got some good stuff for me this evening. We're going to go through our usual stuff. I've got a great football enemy for us tonight. I think you'll enjoy it, Kyle.
Oh,
I
nice.
think that. But I wanted to start not talking about too much about Arsenal, although because you can hear my voice going again, right? Sorry.
Yeah, it was going there, wasn't it?
It was going just like
Yeah.
holding in defense. It was going a little bit, Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Why is he the
Capitulation.
why did I? No, he's not the reason why, is he? He's not. He's not the reason why we faltered in the games we did. He's not.
I think it's all the players. You can't blame one player, can you?
No,
You can't. Surely not.
you can't. No, you can't. You can't.
You can't.
All right, let's get on to our scout spotter for the week. Super Kyle always shows up with who he wants to share as a young footballer, who he admires, but also maybe always as part of this is a player that you may not know about. In this week's selection, there's definitely one that you do, but there may be one that you don't know too much about. Kyle, which one do you want to start with? The one they know less about or the one they may know more about at this juncture?
I'm going to start with the one they may know less about to start off with.
All
And
right,
the
tell
player
us
is
about
Evan
this young guy.
Ferguson. The player is Evan Ferguson for Brighton and Hove Albion. He's played 14 games this season for the first team, and he scored 4 games. And he's only 18 years old. And if you look at his build, he don't look 18. Let's be honest. And I've actually seen him play live against Stoke, and he reminded me of, how would you say, like a sort of Harry Kane type of player, but who
So
holds the ball up
he's a
more.
number 9. Is he a number 9?
He's a number 9, out and out number 9.
All right.
And physical, quick, can put the ball in the back of the net.
So, Carl, let me ask you this. Do you think like the number 9, because the number 9 kind of went away for a little bit, and it feels like to be fair to Harry Kane, even though he's plays for Spurs, right? It feels like the number 9 is having, I don't know if it's having a resurgence or if he's just, when you think about number 9s around football, I mean, can you pick like 3 maybe?
I pick Harry Kane, Haaland, and Lewandowski, and Benzema. Aren't they number 9s?
Okay, 4. Yeah. No, but the thing is like the role of the number 9 has evolved a lot over the last 3 or 4 years because of the false 10 or the false whatever, the false 9.
False 9, yeah. Well, like I think when you look at it, like if you look at Firmino, for example, I think he's a false 9. Firmino's not a goal scorer. I think even Jesus, he's a false 9 as well. I don't think he's an out and out number 9. Like, I don't think he is. I think now as a striker, you have to be technically good, or you have to work on your technical ability to stand a chance in the higher leagues. Like, even when you look at Haaland, before he went to City, his technical ability wasn't as good as it is now. And like you see him setting up players, like you think to yourself, how's he done that? Like, I think you just have to be more technical.
Yeah, that's a really interesting comment because I want you to elaborate on it a little bit because we always talk about players evolving under managers. And one of the early criticisms of Mikel Arteta is who's improving, right? Who's getting better? And I think that we've seen even Xhaka get a season play like Xhaka get better this season
Yeah,
because he's changed his role, right? So there's a lot of play. I think Pep is one of the best at evolving. Look at Jack Grealish this year. He's a totally different player.
yeah, he is. He is. I always knew he was gonna become good, like for City. It's just that some fans haven't got patience, and it's hard for a player to move from a club where you're a man and then go to a club where you have to stay on one half of the pitch, you have to stay in your area, you have to move the ball around. If you take someone on, you have to make sure you beat your man. Or if you don't beat your man, you got to win the ball back in 5 seconds, whatever. It's a massive change, and some people hear that and go, "Oh, it can't be that hard." It's a hard change because he's not living in his hometown anymore. He's got to move. Then he's playing with new players. He's playing with players who are, possibly are higher pedigree than him, like Kevin De Bruyne, players like that. So he's thinking to
Mm,
himself, "Oh, I've got to pass the ball to him because he's asking for it. He's the best player in the Premier League, so I've got to pass it to him." Where he wasn't really being himself, but this season
mhm.
now he's like, "I've got to be myself, or I'm going to lose my opportunity to show what I've got." And City will just bring someone in who will prove the fans that they're good enough to be in that wing. And
Yeah.
luckily, Grealish has proved it to all the City
Yeah.
fans.
No, I think I think managers deserve credit because a lot of the times when you think about the role that they have and what they have to do, when you see players improve, they deserve credit for that. And there's no doubt that this season, after the World Cup, Jack Grealish improved. Uh, Evan is apparently there's a few folks talking about him here. Evan is back for Sunday versus us at the Emirates. Not sure. I know about that, but there's a lot of love for him here in the
He's a
chat, and
very good player.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know of him, but I have not seen enough of him to know of his value. But Barry here talks about the good value of a number 9. Do you think it's a position that Arsenal should look into in terms of how
100%.
we play right now, Kyle, versus having a plan
Yeah.
B?
Well, I think you play a lot like City, and yeah, City didn't have a striker for so many years, but Haaland, people were saying Haaland hasn't made City a better side. He's broken their goal record in the Premier League. Arsenal give service. Players like Nketiah were getting service for Arsenal. He was putting the goals away, but at the same time he was missing crucial chances. And
Hmm.
where if you had someone like who's a striker who's available, like a Vlahovic, for example, he would score them. I know Arsenal are after Vlahovic as well. Vlahovic, even I think even Evan Ferguson will even score them chances because
Yeah. Dublin
the
Guna
typical number
says,
nine finishes.
yeah, I like that. Desperate for Evan to come to the carpet. So long since we had an Irish gunner. There were so many when I started supporting the club. Yeah, there's a lot of love for him in the room. And, I think that one of the things I like about City is that Haaland is the type of player he can play as a plan A and a plan B, right? There's not a
Yeah,
lot big number 9s that can play with their feet and also come in if you want to play the long ball, Kyle. Do you agree with
yeah,
that?
yeah. I do agree with that. Haaland, you can give it to his feet or you can spin him behind, and he's a threat either way. Where if you look at someone like Kane, Kane isn't very quick, so it's
Mhm.
just into his feet or it's just set him up for a finish. Where you're not going to slip Kane through because he isn't really going to get the ball because he isn't very quick. Whereas Haaland can do in behind to feet. Literally, he's a versatile number 9, isn't he? Because he can do a
Yeah,
lot.
he is. He's actually a lot better with his feet and his movement than people give him credit
Yeah,
for. I think
yeah.
just because
He's
he's
such a
like
big
this,
guy.
yeah, he's a Marvel character type
Yeah,
looking guy that people don't
yeah.
appreciate the intricacies of how he plays, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but Kyle, talk to me about so just to wrap up on Evan, I mean, good in the air, good with his feet, good technically. Does he have good movement? Is he good off the ball? Is he good on the ball? Give me your scouting report.
I think for an 18-year-old in the Prem who I think will start against Arsenal, I think he's very good at hold up. He can run in behind. Movement's good. He's not afraid to head the ball. I was watching him against Everton, and pretty sure he did a header and almost went in. A good save by Pickford, but a lot of players there will want the ball just to bounce to the feet and just hit it.
Mm-hmm.
He gives me the impression where he will do anything to score. And that's what you want as number 9, especially for an 18-year-old as well, to be like that. He's playing against big centre halves.
Yeah, and also, Kyle, is it fair to say that a number 9 like him would welcome a move to a club like Arsenal, right? If Arsenal want to come in for you, a lot like Ramsdale and Ben White and those kind of guys, you jump at that, right?
Yeah, you would. Arsenal's a big club and also create chances. As a striker, you want chances. There's no point going to a club where you ain't going to get any chances, because what's the point of being there? Every striker looks at Haaland and wishes they were in his position, because he gets 5-6 chances a game. Any striker would wish for that.
Salivating. You got your brother you right now. Yeah. I mean, even Super Kev, even still to this day, he sees something, he's like, I could have buried that. He's like Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan still goes on TV talking about, I could take that guy on. I'll take on Steph Curry and Jovic and all of those guys. He's top class, so says Gary. Even Ferguson is a powerhouse at 18. He's going to kick on. And Dublin Gooner says he's a superstar over here. Played League of Ireland Premier Division at 14. Nice one then, Kyle. I like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's look out for this young fella. Evan. What's his last name? Ferguson. I had a brain fart there. Thank you. Evan Ferguson. He looks the part, definitely. Now, your second choice for our scout of the week is definitely more
Eduardo.
known. However, give me the caveat of why you've included him, because let me tell you something. I want him at Arsenal so bad. So bad. Yeah.
It's Eduardo Camavinga.
This guy's so special. Talk to me, Kyle.
Well, I was watching him midweek against City on Tuesday night, and I think he's actually a midfielder who's playing out of position. He's playing left back, and he doesn't look out of place at all. He never loses a ball. He's quick, he's physical. He reads the game so well. It's like, and he's 20 years of age as well.
That's insane.
Crazy. And he's playing for Real Madrid as well. The biggest club in the world. And it's crazy how good he is. Against City, I was like, he's a joke. He is.
Gooner Works is having a bit of a giggle. A midfielder playing out of position at left back sounds a bit familiar. I don't think it's the same as when Xhaka played left back against Brighton. Gooner Works, but I love what you're trying to talk about there. Camavinga, does he stay or leave Real Madrid? I know that you've brought him up because you're trying an angle here, Campbell. You want him at City, don't you?
Yep,
to do what and to replace whom?
Replace Cancelo.
Cancelo can come to us, no? Cancelo's not had a good time at Bayern Munich. Has anyone had a good time at Bayern Munich since going there in the last transfer window?
Yeah. Mane went summer, but Mane's going as well. I think
he's punched people.
For Mane as well.
No, apparently Mane's going to
What's
Chelsea.
The context?
Talk to me about the context, Kyle. Talk me through it. Come on, then.
But what the context of why Mane punched Sane?
Well, no, maybe you know. Well, Sane's your mate, so I don't know. Maybe Sane deserved a punch. I don't know.
All I'm saying is you don't know the context behind it. Anything could have been said. After getting pumped by Man City 3-0 away, you're going to be angry. Tempers are going to be high. So but I don't say punching. Like that's a no go. You don't punch people, but who knows? Simon may have said something to him that might be personal. Who knows?
So okay, this is the great thing I love about talking to players, right? And stuff like that happens apparently, according to Kev and other players, it happens a lot in training and it happens a lot between players. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Is it something that is?
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have to, like, I don't like everyone at work. I don't get on. I mean, I want to be best friends with everyone at work. Why do I have to be best friends with everyone at work? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. I feel the same. I've seen fights happen before. I've seen players try and fight each other. It's this frustration, and when you're getting embarrassed like that as well, away from home, game's practically over. It's 3-0. It's like tempers are high, and they're just arguing with each other, aren't they? And it's just one thing leads to
Yeah.
another. Then out of nowhere, someone throws a punch, and it's like, okay. So.
All right. Well, now let's get back to your scouting report on Camavinga. Does he stay at Real Madrid? Does he leave? I know that you put him in deliberately to just piss me off because you know I want him at Arsenal, and you know that City have got more chance of getting him. Is that why this has happened today?
You know what? Actually, hasn't, because I don't actually think he'll join City.
Oh, that's good. That's the best thing you've said all day, to be honest, Kyle.
I just picked him because he's a great player. Like, great player, never loses a ball.
If you so what's being said about him is versatility, right? Of all the young players you see, and there's a lot of talent at Real Madrid. I mean, he's broken in, but he's not all the way in, right? Do you think Real Madrid is the spot for him, or do you think he'll be looking to go elsewhere?
I think it is a spot for him. It's just, why would he want to leave? Like, he's going to be challenging for a league every season. He's going to be getting through to. He's going to be getting past the group stages of the Champions League every season. So he's going to be playing knockout football in the Champions League every season. And Real Madrid are preparing for the future now, aren't they? They're trying to get Bellingham in, and obviously Vinicius is young. Benzema,
oh God, he's so
they're going to try to replace him as well. And I don't know who they're going to get for him. They're thinking about getting Mbappe again as well. It's a joke. Their team will be a joke.
Bellingham,
really
Mbappe.
Will.
Listen, this is what they do. Like when you've won 12, is it 12 or 11 Champions Leagues?
Yeah, something.
When you've had the play, it's like that white out. You're a player. You tell me. Sometimes I'm like, I really want that Tom Ford jacket, but it's just maybe a stretch for me this month. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, you just want to wear the Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's just I think it's the history. I think it's history. It's the model of the club. Nice stadium. Play in Europe. Win.
Well, it's the stadium. Stuff. When you train, is it you go? It's like the stairway to heaven, right? When you're walking up.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah. It's going to be, and he would want to leave.
Kyle Campbell, I'm your agent, and we get a call. Real Madrid and Barcelona want to sign you, but also there's a late call from Arsenal. Who are you signing for? Your dad listens to this show, by the way.
To be fair, I've always said to myself, I want to go to a club where my dad's played.
Oh.
I've always said that to myself. So if it's the only time, I'll say Real Madrid. I mean, no. I'll say Arsenal.
Okay, because your dad didn't play for Real Madrid, although, I mean, listen, total baller, could have played anywhere, in any position, by the way.
Yeah, probably Arsenal.
Do you? I would love it in a room now. If we were with your dad and your brother, it might go a little bit differently. However, I love that you said that you would have loved to have played for a club that your dad played for. So that could be Everton, Arsenal. It could even be Trabzonspor. It could be Forest. You know that he went out on loan early in his career. Do you know
West Brom? Yeah, West Brom, Cardiff. Could be anyone.
West Brom is saved from relegation. That is how Survival Sunday kicked in. You know, I did an interview with him about 3 years ago before he was even on the show because I was fascinated by that West Brom Survival Sunday moment, right? Brian Robson brings in your dad. He makes him captain. They go to this, you know, getaway in Miami to get their heads in gear. What's happening? What we doing? And literally your dad comes in. Rest is history.
Yeah, literally. The rest is history. Like, that's just like a aim of mine, just to play at a club he's been at, so I can say I've done it. So,
I love that. That will happen. That will happen.
Yeah, it will.
It will happen. It will 100% happen. All right. I love Camavinga. I hope he doesn't go to Man City. I love Evan. I love these ones you bring into the mix, especially with our Irish Arsenal fan listeners who are huge on Evan Ferguson as well. Already played for his country and a superstar back at home. Good stuff from you on that front there, Kyle. All right. I've got our football enemy for the week. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, football enemy. As a Manchester City fan, I think you will enjoy this. My football enemy for the week. Let me get rid of this thing at the bottom here. Is this guy? Let me just get rid of all this stuff. I deliberately cut it this way, maybe just to make him look like he was an old man looking for some type of, I don't know, like, you know. Do you remember me? I played football one time. I was really good, apparently, supposedly. Manchester United deserve top 4. No one thought we could fight for it. By the way, I don't know if you've seen, but Danny from a Bergkamp Wonderland or someone put up a whole spreadsheet of pundits who picked Manchester United to finish in the top 4. Literally everyone picked them. I don't even know if I saw Arsenal in the top 4 of any pundit pick. Yeah. So our football enemy for me this week, and I want you to talk to me a little bit about this. Your Manchester United captain, Kyle, you come out and you talk about United deserving top 4, and no one thought we could fight for it. How the mighty have fallen, yet they want to point the finger at Arsenal being bottlers and chokers. Talk to me. Talk to me about the new noisy neighbours.
I don't like Fernandes one bit. Despise him. He just dives. But United, I really want them not to get top 4. I want them to struggle. I love to see them get relegated, but obviously it's not going to happen. But I just think they're saying they're going to win the quadruple. They're saying they're going to win the treble. Then they're saying a double. And they're saying, oh yeah, well, Carabao Cup's good. Then it's oh yeah, but we're going to finish top 4 as well. It's like, but are you though? Are you really though? Because they've got no Rashford tomorrow as well. So
yeah, I mean, what is it about? You know, there's certain players, and I don't want to get you into any trouble at all because you're still playing and you're there and you're trying to make your way forward and you're very respectful how you talk about players. You talk about it purely from a playing perspective and how you see things on the pitch.
Yeah.
Bruno, though, I'm just going to tell you from my point of view as an opposing fan, Kyle, if he's on your team, you love him. If he's not, he's the kind of player you just, I don't like this word, hate.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. I was going to say, if he's on your team, you love him because he's going to win you fouls. He does moan, but...
Oh, moans more than grandma, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. he does moan, but at the same time, though, if you played against him...
Do you think he's good? Do you rate him? Do you rate him, Kyle?
I don't really know what he's good at. That's the only thing. Like, I look at him, when you look at De Bruyne or Odegaard, you think they can create. Do you ever really see Bruno create? Like, he's got good work rate, But
yeah, he does have a good work rate, and he's a facilitator more than a creator. I feel like, if you're in a factory and there's the workers on the line who are pushing the product down, and Bruno is kind of one of the coordinators who helps move things along.
yeah,
Bruno's a
keeps it ticking,
coordinator.
doesn't he?
Yeah, keeps
He
it
keeps
ticking.
it ticking, but
Keeps it ticking. All right.
I don't really know what he brings.
That's our football enemy of the week. And we say that. I called it football frenemies, and none of you really like that because you want them to be enemies. So I changed it back to football enemies. Do you have anything for Campbell's Corner this week? Is there anything that's on your mind that you want to get off your chest that you've been thinking about, whether it's football related, Champions League, Premier League, Championship, playoffs, anything that's going on, whether it's the King's coronation, the booing of the national anthem at Liverpool? Is there anything going on in Kyle Campbell's Corner this week that you
Yeah,
want to get off your chest?
there's actually two things, actually.
I like it.
The first thing is people saying that we got lucky away at Real Madrid, and people saying that the ball went out of play. To
Kyle,
win the
this is not a
Champions
Manchester
League,
City podcast. I'm just saying.
yeah,
It's not a fan.
I'm just saying, look, to win the Champions League, you have to have luck on your side to win the Champions League, and that luck could potentially win us the Champions League. It could get us to the final. I'm not saying it's going to win it, but it's a massive goal when you look at it. It's a way out. It's a
I
way
don't
out
think you
of
got. I thought you
Madrid.
actually were the better team on the night, if I'm being
I
honest.
think
And
we
I
were.
hate to be honest. God, it's so awful that I have
I
to
think we
be
were the better
honest about
side.
it. But you were. You were the better side overall. But as you've seen with Real Madrid, when they're down, you can't rule them out in the return leg, right? You can't.
Yeah, you can't. That's the annoying thing. You can't, because you could be 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go. Out of nowhere, they get 2 goals in 5 minutes. You're like, all right, here we go. You just know they're going to come back, don't you? You just know, especially with Don
Well, I
Carlo's
hope,
eyebrow.
Kyle.
His
I
eyebrow,
really
Don
hope.
Carlo's eyebrow. The thing is, though, also fans want us to get beat, but it's like, we're going to focus on the Champions League final, though. It's like,
Well, you're not there
I don't,
yet.
yeah, I know, but if we do, like, would you rather us win or lose against Real Madrid?
Oh, I want you to. Okay, so here's the juxtaposition. I want you to win to have another game, an extra game. But
Yeah.
as a fan, and Jason Cundy has come on this show many, many times and talked about this, and he does on the sports bar. And some fans, and I had City fans go at me, why don't you want Man City to win the Champions League when they're a Premier League team? I don't support the Premier League. I support Arsenal Football Club. If Arsenal Football Club were in the Champions League final against Barcelona, who would you want to win?
I don't like Barcelona, so Arsenal.
Damn. Okay, so let me pick another team. I don't want any other English club to win the Champions League. I'm sorry. Can you understand that?
Yeah. I think the only time I
You
wanted
want
the
Man
English side
United to win the
no,
Champions League?
I would say the only team I wanted to win the Champions League was when Chelsea played Bayern Munich in the final that
Excuse
year
me, were
for
you born in
Drogba.
2006? Do you realize what happened
2012, wasn't it?
No. Wait, when were you born?
Oh, 2003.
So you were 3 when
No, when
Arsenal played
Chelsea
Barcelona.
won. Oh, yeah, I was 3, yeah.
Don't let me put you in a timeout, Kyle. Okay, but the last time would be fair because that final was after 2006. So go ahead. I'm listening.
I wanted Chelsea to win for the Drogba, really, because it was his last game, wasn't it?
No.
So
How did I? Okay. I'm going to rethink this show if you are going to come on here, Kyle Campbell, and talk about wanting Chelsea to win the Champions League final because of Drogba. That just makes me question everything about Kev right now, to be honest with you.
he deserved it.
Who? Drogba or Kev?
Drogba deserved it. The rest of the players, I'm not bothered about, but No, Drogba deserved it, but I think fans just don't want City to win it, and I want to prove you all wrong.
I know. And also now thinking Brady's banana, you're right, that I may actually be old enough to be Carl's grandmother, not his mother, which is shocking. So we're just going to move on entirely from this whole conversation that's made me feel a little bit like I need to go off and have a couple of vodkas. Yeah, indeed. Drogba, horrible for us. Senderos still sees him, Ian, in his nightmares. All right. Should we get to some predictions then for this weekend?
Yep.
What do you think? Yeah.
All
right. Let's talk about the games this weekend. A lot happening. It's the crescendo, everybody, of the Premier League. This is it. Don't get scared now. There are tons of important games coming up, and it is relevant at the top and also at the bottom. Why don't we just start where it all matters for us, Arsenal fans who just want to be selfish right now? Mr. Campbell, is there any chance Man City could get sticky at the Toffees this weekend?
Yes, there is a chance.
Ooh, talk to me. Now I'm interested.
I am slightly worried about this game.
I love this. Why?
I'll be more worried about this game than Brighton away, because Everton away is tough, especially when they're in a relegation battle, and especially when they've just pumped Brighton 5-1.
Come on.
It's probably the worst time to go to Everton this whole season. I'm shocked we're going to them. It just had to happen, didn't it?
What is the record for Everton against City generally? Is it decent? Because if it was us going to Everton, I'm like, forget about it. Let's just not even bother going. It's 3 points to the Toffees.
The last time we went, we scraped to 1-0. Foden, like last minute. But apart from that.
Oh, so it's not totally, your last memories, you scraped a result, right? I mean, we've been humiliated at Everton, to be honest with you, the last 2 seasons, Kyle. It's been ugly, very ugly. The first was the demise of Aubameyang, and the second was, that was not good this season, and we kind of bounced back from that. But Sean Dyche, I thought I cooked him. I was like, nah, he's done now. He can't redo this. And then that result against Brighton, where does that come from?
It just comes from players playing for a manager. That's literally what it is.
So why haven't they been able to do that for the rest of the season?
I think it's clicked. I think it takes time to get used to a system. It's a new system, isn't it? It takes time. Players have got to adapt to it, because they're used to playing Lampard's way, which is not the best way of football, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll get to that. And Ian, you were expecting Carl's Corner to be something about the playoffs or Bracknell, but he's given you Evan. He gave last week, if you missed it, he gave a couple gem scouting pieces, and we talk a lot about the lower leagues, and we will be. So hold your horses there, Ian. I love the enthusiasm. What's the score, Campbell? You want to start with Leeds versus Newcastle United. Leeds desperate. Newcastle pretty much guaranteed Champions League football. Are there towels on the beach?
I think if Newcastle win this, I think they're getting it. I think they're getting Champions League. Leeds need a win.
I'm going for an upset here. I'm going for an upset.
Is Dyche really gonna go? I can't see Newcastle beating Leeds. I don't know why. I can't see it.
Even at Ellen Road.
After what Arsenal did to Newcastle, I think they're going to be, confidence would be low. I think it'd be 1-1.
I'm going to go 2-2 for a Desmond here. Leeds United desperate. Newcastle United coming off a humiliating loss at home, if I may say so myself, Kyle. This next one, Arsenal v Tottenham. You've got Emery versus the managerless Tottenham Hotspurs. who Harry Kane, if he wants to stay there, I'd love to get your take on this. If you and Tyrese are having dinner tomorrow night and you're talking about what's happening at Tottenham and you are both Harry Kane and two brothers are sitting there, are you saying, bro, man, you got to go? You've got to go. If you want to win shit, you have got to leave this club.
But where'd you go?
Hello, Harry Kane, as I know he's a Tottenham player. Excuse me, he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah, but when you look at the clubs, could he go City? No. Would he fit in after Haaland?
Well, you wanted him last season, and now you have Haaland, so no, it's done. That's out of the question.
I would happily take him, but United. I don't want to.
He's a perfect fit for United or Chelsea right now. Let's be honest. Chelsea are desperate for a striker. United, they need more experience up front. Martial, what is that about?
He can't hit a barn door at the moment.
But, I mean, how many chances does a guy get?
He gets good service, doesn't he? But
yeah, he does.
He's in a rough patch, but every striker has one. But
yep, they sure do. What is your result for Villa versus Tottenham Hotspurs?
I think it will be 2-1 Spurs.
Okay, I'm going for a Villa bounce back at home against the Tottenham, and I'm going for a Emery 3-1 victory, channeling my favourite North London derby of all time, Kyle, the 4-2 at home, where Torreira takes his shirt off and celebrates. I'm not taking my shirt off. Of course today to celebrate. We got a message here. Who's this? Oh, we know who this fella is. Kyle, me and Theo are watching this great stream. Who's Theo?
Theo is my half brother.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. Absolutely love it. All right, Kyle, let's look into your crystal football a little bit more here. Ooh, Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest, another ex-Campbell club here. Chelsea, I think, getting a little bit better as the season is closing out.
Yeah, I agree. They look good against Bournemouth away. I thought they were going to get beat. I said in the last stream they would, but they proved me wrong. I think they're going to. Yeah, I think they're going to do it again. They're going to win again.
How about this? Would you call me crazy if I said the team that really can't score goals in the Premier League against Forest at home will get 4 this weekend? 4-1. Call me crazy. And here's this.
I've got crazy.
So we did an interview with Nick Ramsdale, Aaron's dad, earlier this week, which is going to air on Sunday. And he mentioned Mudryk versus Trossard. It was a really kind of cool moment in terms of talking about the club and being held to ransom and transfers and building and all of this type of stuff, right? And I thought that was really an interesting kind of comment. You could have spent 100, but actually Edu and Arteta didn't want to. And they went and got Trossard. And Trossard's been incredible since. But I have a feeling that Mudryk is quality. Listen, I don't think Mudryk's a bad player. I just think they're in a bad situation. That guy's going to be a superstar. There's no doubt about it.
He's got the potential. You can clearly tell. He's a great player. He's a great player, but he's just not playing in a good team at the moment. He's playing in a team which lack confidence. I think tomorrow is a great game for him to get his confidence up.
What's your result? What's your scoreline for that one?
I'm going to go. I think Chelsea will concede. I think it'll be 3-1 Chelsea.
All right. You've gone for 3-1. I've gone for 4-1. You're listening to the Highbury Squad here. This is the Total Football Show with Kyle Campbell. And we'll be doing a lot more of this next season. Love having him on. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth still needs some insurance here. Palace safe, I think. Roy Hodgson deserves a massive one of those, right?
Yeah, he's done well. Yeah, he's done really well, and he's like, when I saw him being appointed, I did not see him doing so well. I thought he would struggle like Vieira, but he just gets to play his playing, doesn't he? I don't get it. there's something about him, ain't there, where the players just respect him and they just play for him.
Yeah. How do you feel like if you're a young guy and Roy Hodgson comes in? So they tried Vieira, they've tried a few different things at Palace. You've got this 80-year-old man that comes in that's trying to teach you about football. Do you embrace that as a young player?
I guess you
Even
do,
though you
because
maybe can't relate to him as a human?
You probably can't relate to him as a human, but he's been there, done it at so many clubs. The experience, the different players he's been around. What he says, he's been in that situation before.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to just stick with it. Whereas Vieira, it's his first time. So
yeah, no, listen, I got killed because I said Vieira would be sacked by Christmas at Palace. I was just a little bit too early on that front. Arsenal fans went at me. I saw him manage here in MLS at New York City FC. Nice, it started off great, didn't end up great. Palace started off great. As a manager, you've got to have, like, beyond the initial 6 months of excitement and oomph, I'm here. What else you got? You know?
yeah.
And some great players, Kyle, don't make great managers. Gary Neville, Tony Adams, so far Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry is an awful manager.
We'd say Gerrard. We'd say
Awful so far. I mean, look, Rangers. Okay, you can't deny what he did there. Took them out of the gutter and took them back up. But how much was the struggle to take them out the gutter in that situation versus maybe taking Sunderland back to a playoff opportunity in the Championship, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's like with Rangers, you're either going to come first or second. Like in that league, it's just literally Celtic, Rangers, the rest. Okay, so you're probably going to get to a semi-final or a final every single season with the players you've got and the money you've got. So it's not a hard ask in that perspective, because you go to play one of the biggest clubs in Scotland, if not the biggest. So I think you're always going to do well there. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's listen, you still have to win, right, Kyle? But the challenge is a little bit different.
You've got the players. You've got the players, because the players know they're playing for Rangers, a big club, and the players are way above the level. Like, well, I'll say majority of the players are way above the level, so they're always going to get you wins,
right?
And they're always going to get you to finals. It's just about if they do the job and actually win you stuff.
Right. If I'm a player and I want to go and I'm desperate to play Champions League football, and I know that maybe my quality can't get it with a top European club, I'm going to Celtic or Rangers to play in Europe, right?
Yeah, you are, because we've got a massive following, play in Europe, you're going to get the fans behind you. It's just, it gets your name out there, doesn't it, as well? It gets people watching you all over the world. And yeah, when they come up against decent teams or good sides, like when Rangers play Liverpool wiped them off like the field. It was that men versus boys.
But they had that great run in the Europa League as well, which for them is massive, right?
That's massive, and I hope they won that, but they didn't.
Yeah,
pray for them to win that.
I was actually rooting for them too.
Yeah, no.
I'm going for a Crystal Palace win at home against Bournemouth. I'm going for a 3-1 to Palace.
I'm going for. I'm going to go for 0-0.
0-0, a ball?
Yep. I think it'll be a snooze fest.
The snooze fest. I like that. Yeah. The Manchester United Red Devils against the Wolverhampton Wanderers. I don't know why I want to say that in American accent, but it just sound like a total wanker, but I don't care. Manchester United, I think, bounce back in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, but where's their threat? With no Rashford, who's going to score on goals?
Okay, I'm listening.
Is Martial going to score you goals? Is Weghorst going to score you goals? Is Sancho? At the moment, they're not on form, United, and they got beat by West Ham. So, and I think Wolves and West Ham are probably around the same level in terms of playing ability. So, I think this could possibly be. Don't want to say it again, but I think it could be a draw or a United one. Oh, United just scrape it.
Yeah, I have a horrible feeling they're going to win it.
Yeah. I've got my gut feeling says United are going to win 1-0.
All right, 1-0. I'm going to go for a United 3-0 win against Fulham. Against Wolves. Southampton versus Fulham. Southampton as good as dead, aren't they?
Yeah. If they get beaten, they're down. They're down.
Yeah. What's your quick fire? Your quick fire on Southampton, Fulham. Fulham getting a good result in the week. They'd faltered a little bit. I fancy Fulham to get the away win. 2-1.
Yeah, I think Fulham will win. I think 2-0.
2-0. All right, here we go. We get to the big games on Sunday. Brentford versus West Ham United. Brentford kind of have nothing to play for, but yet they do. Yeah. They potentially could get in the European Conference, right?
Yep.
They've had a great season. Amazing manager doing incredible things. I love Brentford. I want them to win this. So I'm going to go for Brentford to win 2-1 at home against the Hammers, who had a big game in Europe, but didn't play well, Kyle.
Yeah, I think West Ham are going to be knackered. I think West Ham are going to accept a loss in this game. I think David Moyes is going to be like, yeah, we're probably going to get beat, accept it, focus on next week against AZ Alkmaar. I think you Brentford 2-0.
2-0. All right. Yeah. Okay, there are two other big games on Sunday. One comes first. It's the Toffees. Yes. The Toffees, a very important team in the Campbell family, against Manchester City, another very important team in the Campbell family. And of course, Arsenal versus Brighton. Let's get you to give us your result for Everton versus Manchester City. Can the Toffees pull off another upset and shake the Premier League title into another absolute crazy twist, Kyle Campbell, I ask you? You seem more worried than you did last week against Leeds.
I am worried. I am. No, I don't think they will. I can't see it.
You can't see City getting the result, or you can't see Everton pulling off a massive upset that would actually literally shake the Premier League. And obviously, Arsenal, please just beat Brighton if that happens. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I can't see the upset. I really can't.
I can't either, if I'm being honest. Just to say that out loud. I can see City battering them.
I think everyone says, "Oh yeah, it's potential banana skin." 4 minutes into the game, it's 1-0 Haaland. That's what it'll be. You just know it'll be an early City penalty. Haaland scores. City may get another one before half time. I think the only reason it may be tasty is if it's 0-0 at half time, and they know they're still in it. I think if City score in the first half, I think it's game over. I think we'll.
Okay, so now I'm tapping into you and Tyrese. You've multiple games in the week, and you know that one game is much, much bigger than the other. What are you doing? As a player, the truth is, you guys know the big game is that game, right?
Yeah.
So
it's the Real Madrid game, the big game.
So how are the City players facing this match? Because if you're trained by Pep Guardiola or you're managed by Pep Guardiola, there's no excuses. You're going for everything. They'll be ready for this game against Everton. However, this City team wants that Champions League real bad. As an Arsenal fan, I'm just trying to make myself feel better right now, Kyle. Help.
They do. They do, because if you look at the other side of the draw, I expect us to beat Inter or AC in 90 minutes. I do. So I think
I agree with that.
We have to beat Madrid, but I think our squad depth. I think our B team.
Don't come on this show complaining about squad depth, Campbell.
Yeah, our squad depth is better than Everton's A team. Like, our B team is probably better than their A team. That's what I think. Their best team.
Facts.
This season. So, look, you can throw you throw Mahrez in, you throw Rico Lewis in, you throw Laporte in. So,
what is your score? You are dilly-dallying here. You're fearful. I've never seen... I mean, literally, you are fearful of Everton.
I think it would be 2-0 City.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-2 City after all that. Yeah. All the angst and everything. I don't think Everton could do it 2 weeks in a row. If they do, oh my gosh. My worst case scenario is that they do and then we fail. Arsenal versus Brighton.
Oh, that's a massive game. Wow.
It's huge. They did us last season.
They did.
But we've paid everyone back for last season so far, other than Southampton.
Yeah.
Come on. Give me the win, Kyle. Send the Juju out there into the universe. Just give us this one.
I think it will be
Arsenal 4, West Ham 2.
I think it would be I think it would be Arsenal.
Remember, your dad listens to this show.
Arsenal 0.
What? At home? No goals scored at home? I'm going to stop this show before it's even started, this series.
I think
you speak your truth, Kyle. Go on. Do you think we're literally not going to score a goal at home?
But I think Arsenal 1.
Jesus Christ. I get the mind games. I'm kind of enjoying this Man City v Arsenal mind games at the end of the season. And the fact that you are a little bit more rattled than some of the other Man City YouTubers I've faced on the old Sky Sports and TalkSport. You are very respectful and very, guarded here. Interesting.
I just think it's just down to what Arsenal turns up against Southampton. If you play like that against Brighton, you will get beat. So I think you'll score.
Oh, thank you.
You will score.
What are you saying? Spit it out.
I'm thinking about a certain striker here who was in the scouting bit.
I don't know if there's a game that Arsenal haven't scored in this season.
Yeah, I think. Gonna go Arsenal 1, Brighton 1, Evan Ferguson to score.
Rattled like a little bite from a snake right there, is Mr. I like it. All right. I love that. And then we got one game on Monday, Leicester versus Liverpool. Let's do this because this is where you and I will unite. Can Liverpool oust United from the Champions League spot?
Yes, they will. Yes.
Get in, Kyle.
They will. They will. I'm going. It's going to be goals galore this game. I think it'll be 3-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 5-2 to Liverpool.
5-2?
I think Leicester are so broken. Like you know what? They shouldn't. Leicester and who's the other team? Leicester. Who else is down there? Two teams Leeds. They should never have got rid of their managers. Why?
No, it's true.
I mean, and you deserve what you get. Leicester City are the perfect example of a team that's come into the league and done exceptionally well, believe their own hype, and jazzed with their own tunes, and didn't realize that they're not quite yet a Premier League team, even though they've won the title. Filed under Blackburn Rovers, right?
Yep.
I mean, the fall from grace is huge.
I think they'll go down sadly as well.
Do you think it's sad, or do you think it's like their ownership, their notoriety became all celebrated, all loved, all this and that and the other. And I just think sometimes you overly buy into your own hype and it becomes a little bit part of your persona that maybe wasn't what endeared you to everybody to begin with.
I think they're sleepwalking into getting relegated, to be honest, because I think they're used to. I think complacency kicked in with them. I think they're used to so many teams coming to Leicester, show them so much respect. Oh, these are on the league. Oh, these got a good side. Where teams are coming now and thinking to themselves, we're going to beat these, and then Leicester start conceding 3-4 goals. Everyone's like, oh, it's an easy 3 points now. Where before, I think teams were showing them respect because I think if you got a league title with your name, I think teams do show you that respect, don't they? So I think
Totally.
when Leicester started letting in 3-4 a game, losing stupid games, I think fans were like, or players for other teams were like, it's easy 3 points this, and then Leicester were getting beat more and just started dropping, and now in a relegation dogfight.
Kyle, let me ask you this as a fan. In order to have Premier League survival for 10 years, would you give away the one Premier League title you experienced as a Leicester fan and the FA Cup? Just to be in the Premier League for 10 years. I would never give up that experience as a fan. But in modern day football, I can...
You never give up the Premier League?
I would give up. I would never give up the Premier League that they've won to survive and be in the Premier League for 10 years. I would rather go down and keep... So there's that question, right? Are you happy with the success you've had since 2015? Would you give it all back just to be in the Premier League for the next 10 years? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Trophies are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of clubs and for a lot of players. Winning an FA Cup and the Premier League, why would you want to throw that away for another 10 years? Leicester will probably go down and come straight back up.
They could be the club that goes back down. But we've also seen like Forest not be able to do that, Leeds not be able to do that, Stoke not be able to do that, West Brom not. It's not that easy, is it?
You can get stuck in the Championship. You can.
Kyle, it is one of the toughest leagues in the world, the Championship. It is brutal.
It is. I've watched it a lot this season. I've been to games live. It's brutal. The fitness on some of the players. And the way they play as well. Every team plays different. Some teams play in like percentages. Some teams just hoof it long. Some teams actually play football. Some teams go and match the other team's formation. It's a crazy league, and I actually really enjoy it. I really enjoy watching it.
I love it.
Well.
I mean, my favorite. Yeah, I agree. My favorite game of the year is the playoff. I mean, it's the most exciting game in sports, I think, that playoff match.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Who's Wigan? We've got all the usual bits and bobs coming up. Leeds took 20 years. Who's Wigan? Yeah, I mean, there's a few comments. Leicester also won the FA Cup. They did. Wigan won the FA Cup. Lots of comments coming in from that. I've got a few questions for you before we let you go. You got five more minutes here with me. Do you have that to answer some questions? And also a very good evening to everyone. And Fran has just joined us too, our very talented Guna artist. Thank you so much, everyone. Let everyone know about this show. It's a little bit different. It's not just all Arsenal. We talk about a little of everything with Kyle Campbell here. Kyle, what's more important, playing time or trophies?
Ooh, good question.
That's a good one.
Oh, I would say playing time.
I love how you think before you answer too, by the way. Like you just, playing time, not trophies.
It's got to be playing time. It's got to be. You play football to play football. I get you play football to win trophies, but if you're sat on the bench and you don't actually play part really in winning the trophy, then what have you actually done to win the trophy? That makes sense.
So So let's say you play some of the FA Cup or the League Cup, but you're out of the quarters, the semis, and the final. Do you still feel, though, that you've earned that winning medal?
I mean, I guess you played in the competition, but you haven't played in them decisive games to get you to Wembley, to get you to the semi final. So it's like what is really the point? It's been like a token gesture, really, isn't it?
So would you rather have, for example, someone in a team like City who's won the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup over, versus Harry Kane who's broken all the records? Would you rather have the trophies versus the records?
The thing is, though, that's such a good one because Kane gets slandered for not having a trophy.
He's still a great player, though.
But he's still a great player. He's still a great striker. But I think it's because he's at Spurs, which makes it even more like
Spursy.
Yeah, Spurs, isn't it? It's a history of the Tottenham, isn't it? But
I mean, look at Alan Shearer, for example, right?
He's got to be
won
playing
with,
time, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, he won with Blackburn, but he's the greatest goal scorer ever. So would you rather have gone to United and won 13 Premier League titles, or are you happy with the one you got at Blackburn and the records you broke while you were at Newcastle and Blackburn?
I think you got to be happy with the records. I think it's got to be records on it. Oh,
it's a tough one. I would love to know.
If you're not playing though, I would say records. But are you playing for the team and winning the trophy, or are you not playing?
Okay, so that's different. So, for example, I know people took the piss out of John Terry putting his uniform off and going on to lift the Champions League.
Yeah.
But he was fundamental in that run to the Champions League. Roy Keane and Paul Scholes, who did not play in the final of the treble in 99, did not do that and did not feel they were part of that game and feel very differently to John Terry, although they would never have gotten to that final without those two players, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Very interesting. Maybe we can entice a guest to come on and discuss it with us next week.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Okay. How heavily will City rotate, Kyle? Who's out? Who's in?
I think Haaland will still start. I think Ake will go behind Haaland. Sorry, not Ake. Sorry. I think Alvarez will go behind Haaland. I think Rico Lewis will come in. And Laporte will come in for possibly.
Wow. He's still playing, is he?
Laporte, yeah. Laporte for
terrible joke.
I think.
Do you know we were interested in Cancelo, by the way?
Cancelo.
Okay, character may be flawed, but the guy can play football.
He can play football, but it's his attitude. I think we'll rotate. I think
what about Rodri?
5-6 players.
Is Rodri like the Don?
I think he has to start Rodri. I think he has to because he can start Calvin Phillips, but I just can't see it. I think Rodri's a must. It's a must. I think we'll rotate I think it'll be 4 or 5 players.
Okay, fine. Whatever, you Man City folks. I like these kind of questions, Kyle. Seeing a lot of hot takes on this and desperately need Kyle's too. You can only choose one. Win the CL, Champions League, or win the first ever Manchester Derby FA Cup against United. Oh, come on. Come on. Amira, are you really asking this question?
No way.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me think twice about this. Losing to Tottenham in the FA Cup final or winning the Champions League? Having lost the Champions League final many moons ago. Do you know what? I hate this question so much because I hate losing to Tottenham. Not only do I hate losing to Tottenham, by the way, this is your question, not even mine, but let's talk about this from the different positions. There's nothing worse than losing to your rival in a friendly game, let alone a cup final.
Losing to rivals is the worst thing.
This is a horrible question
It's
all of a
horrid.
sudden,
It's a
Amira. I
horrid
do not
question.
like it.
It's took a dark turn, this, hasn't it?
It does. It's close to the end though. That's good because going dark towards the end is fine.
I would say,
God.
the thing is, we've already been beat by United this season. So
I mean, if you lose to United, they do the cup double. Then they get on there. Well, we've had a better season than Arsenal. We've won 2 trophies. They've finished second. There's a whole mess that comes from this.
Yeah, well.
What's your answer? For me, this is it. It has to be beating Tottenham so they never, ever win anything. That's the answer.
I think that's different. I think for me, it's got to be Champions League. It's got to be.
Well, because that's what you're measured on currently. We're not. So we can escape with answering differently. If you guys don't win the Champions League this year, it will be embarrassing, I think, for Manchester City. Because everyone's been weak. Bayern Munich been weak.
You
don't deserve it. Yeah.
I don't think we will win it if we don't win it this season. I'll be real.
Great. All right, real quick fire 10-second answers to these ones. Does Saka need a rest?
Yes.
Given your knowledge on the lower leagues, how high a level can Cheltenham's Alfie May get to? I think he's got real potential. Wow, what a great question. I don't know anything about him, Gary.
He's actually a really good player. I think Championship.
Yeah?
I think Championship. And I think he'd actually do well in the Championship as well.
And a follow-up from Gary for you, because he's a huge fan of Rico Lewis. And what do you think? I mean, do you think is Rico Lewis someone you guys are thinking about selling? Is Cancelo coming back? I don't think
Rico
Cancelo
Lewis
can
is getting a new contract.
Right.
So I think Cancelo is out the door in the summer.
Yeah, you've got to sell him.
You've got to sell Cancelo.
Yeah. And you know, I think you'll get some good Benjamins for Cancelo. There's no doubt about that. Right, Kyle, that's Vinny asking you if you have anything else you need to share. Have we missed anything from this week? We've given our predictions. We've avoided our last week predictions because we get a mulligan in our first week. We've talked about Man United, Man City, Arsenal, the rest of the league, the Champions League, the lower leagues. You've given us your scouting stuff. What else do you have to tell the squaddies?
I would like to just finally talk about the playoff in the Championship.
I love this stuff.
Isn't it the biggest prize in English in any football?
Any sports game in terms of the value of what it could mean when you're promoted. It's the most expensive game in sports in terms of a one-off game.
Yeah.
Who's coming up? Who's grabbing that spot?
Luton. Luton.
I really want Sunderland.
Why?
You know why? Okay, Luton, they're a nasty bunch, if I'm being honest.
Are they?
Yeah, maybe like Sunday dinner asked Dad about Luton in the 80s. I mean, they're a bit of a... Luton Millwall games back in the day, nasty stuff.
Yeah, but if you look at the stadium, it's a proper British football stadium. There aren't enough of them in the Premier League.
I do listen, I mean, back in the day, even going there to watch a game with the AstroTurf and the way the ball just used to bounce higher than something I can't say right now. Yeah. But my God, I can't deal with Luton being in the Premier League. I can't. They're fans also.
I think it's different. It's just different, right? Isn't it? Like, Borough have already come up, already been in it. Sunderland have already been in it.
Okay. Keep talking.
Coventry.
I could do Coventry.
I could do Coventry. Obviously, I've got a Coventry shirt there as well. But
where'd you get that Coventry shirt from?
My brother got it off the player.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
I love that.
But I think just Luton, I think it's a bit like a fairy tale, isn't it, really? If Luton would come up.
Not so much for me when it comes to Luton, maybe.
Why do you like them?
Gosh, you know why? Because I had a bunch of Greek cousins who lived in Luton back in the day, and they're so large. Their fans are so large. Their fans are a little bit meaner than people think, in my humble opinion. Okay. And a friend of mine, someone I know, managed them at some point, and their fans are vicious. Vicious. It's just
isn't that what the Premier League need, though? A bit more feistiness in the games.
Yes. I mean, if we're talking about fans creating an atmosphere, I'll take Sunderland all day long. If we're talking about fans that want to just cause argy-bargy, Millwall and Luton would have been that. But I think the Premier League could do without either.
I think it's what the Premier League needs. I think Borough are just. I think with Borough, you know what you're going to get. With Sunderland, it's a good atmosphere. With Coventry, I don't really know what's really about Coventry.
I love Coventry, and a lot of people are kind of putting this in the Sky Blues, Jimmy Hill, Coventry City. You don't want to get sent to Coventry, because if someone does that to you in a public setting, that means they're ghosting you. They don't want to talk to you anymore. You don't want to get sent to Coventry.
The only thing about Coventry is early on in the season, they couldn't play on their actual pitch because the rugby game was on it. So
yeah.
So why do they deserve to go up? It's disruption to other games. Why do they deserve to go up?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. And it's my favorite game of the year. I love watching that on the bank holiday Monday. It's a brilliant game. And we're going to talk about it next week. Let's talk about the playoffs in the lower leagues more on our show next week as well. And yeah, forget Millwall. They already caused problems when they just didn't even make. I mean, they're just trouble, aren't they? Jesus Christ. It's just like there's nothing you could do about Millwall. Just leave them there. Park Millwall for now. That's a whole 2-3 hours show right there. Kyle, can you believe we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes?
I know.
My goal is to make these shows 40 minutes, but it's always too good talking to you. What is your closing statement for today, Mr. Kyle Campbell? What would you like the squaddies to be left with?
It's going to be stay safe and keep working hard.
Love that.
It's going to be literally
perfect. Keep working hard. That's very, very important. Maybe we'll bring on a guest next week and surprise everybody. Maybe we will. And look at the ratings coming in. I get 8, you get 10, and Super Kev gets 2, and he's not even here. So, that's a good thing. Fantastic show today. Enjoy your weekend, squaddies. Yes, we will be back. Thank you for the show, says Demsek. Lovely. And win the title. We'd love that too. We will be back post-game after Brighton. Let's hope we're celebrating another 3 points. Also, if you've been living under a rock today, I released a couple of exclusive clips from mine and Super Kev's interview with Aaron Ramsdale's dad, Nick Ramsdale. Some absolute gems from him. Pure quality. Great stuff. Look out for the full interview on Sunday. Check the video section on the site for the super clips. Some brilliant stuff on Ben White. An excellent bit about how he missed Ramsdale's save at Leicester. And then I'm about to post after this also a segment on Mikel Arteta, which I think is brilliant. So please go listen to that. That's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging in. Love the clips. Rambo Senior. Wow. Rambo Senior, they're calling you now, Kyle. How about that? Rich from Thailand. Rich is always in some exotic island in Thailand, probably with a lovely lady, as you should be, Richard. Enjoy her. Enjoy it all. Have fun. Carol in Folkestone. She swims in the sea in Folkestone every single day, Kyle. Does Carol. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing, that.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Wow. Yeah. We do have some folks who set the bar as well. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining. Look out for the show next week. Thank you, Kyle. Smashing it. Can't wait to... Yeah, definitely. And I think our results will be better this week. Until then, everyone, at ease. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.